Hello, race fans, and welcome to Off Camper TV's coverage of the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. Tonight, the series travels to Dover, Delaware to face Miles the Monster in the Skieberflobs Killicorn 100 for 100 laps around the Dover International Speedway. Joining me tonight in the booth is Katie Reed. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I am ready to be back starting this series tonight in Dover. It seems like a lot of these drivers have had an interesting practice session there. Everyone is starting to qualify. We'll see what kind of times they can put down, but this will be a very exciting race to watch. So many trucks on this small track. It's just going to produce a bunch of action.
Yeah, coming here to Dover after last week being in Charlotte, where Mitch Brown took his first career ASRS Truck Series win. Let's see. This Alan Young coming home in second, Pete Baskins, Robbie Baskins, and Sam Maxwell rounding out the top five. Only one out of those right now qualified in the top five is Sam Maxwell in fifth, who was also fastest in practice in that number 98 Sam Maxwell Customs Chevrolet. Coming here from the mile and a half at Charlotte to 1 mile on a concrete oval, high banking, high speeds, and it is what they call a self-cleaning track. If we do see any incidents out here tonight, you can pretty much guarantee wherever it is in the field, the rest of them are going to get in it as well.
Yeah, pretty much. And it is worth mentioning right now that the 91 of Zachary Bosnich is not allowed to put down a qualifying time. He'll be going to the back for the start of this race, and he's currently in fourth in points, so he's going to have a long way to go.
All right, I believe we have a little bit of a weather report there, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now it's mostly cloudy out there. The air and track temp has been settling into the 60s here. Our wind has been anywhere from about 2 to 6 miles an hour, a very, very light breeze out of the northeast. And the humidity has been around 24 degrees. So it's been a pretty decent afternoon here.
Yeah, most definitely getting ready for this race. We've got about 2 minutes left in qualifying right now. Your provisional pole sitter to 44, Michael Atkins Jr. Always got a fast truck in qualifying, just throughout the race, he just cannot seem to get it done. Got mired back in traffic last week and finished 12th. Right now, we're looking at the driver standings right now. Jim Foose still out front by a 21-point lead over Jason Stewart, and both of them are sitting in the back as well. You got Jonathan Holstein, that number 70 LA SimSport team-driven truck. And then, as you mentioned, the 91 sitting in fourth right now. A couple of guys still making rounds around. We do have a new provisional pole sitter, the number 48 POWMIA Chevrolet of Mitch Brown, last week's winner, riding the momentum so far tonight.
Yeah, Michael Atkins was sitting on the pole there for quite a while. No one really jumping up to get him, but there goes the 48 of Mitch Brown. He's on a roll lately. Also looks like we have, I'm looking at the 21 of Scott Smith. Practice in the 28th position, has jumped all the way up into the top 5.
It sure has. Good effort from Scott Smith, that number 21, practiced in 28th. Knocked 5 tenths off here in qualifying to put him up into the top 5 as well. Wrapping up qualifying, less than 10 seconds to go in this session. What are your predictions for tonight, Katie?
Well, I'm hoping to see some really good side-by-side racing here. You can't really run too close to each other at this track. It just doesn't allow you to, but these guys are so talented, and we've seen such good racing, I don't doubt it, in this series. So we'll see what happens here. I do expect some cautions. This track can be a little tricky at times, so we'll see what's going to happen when we go to green, but I do think this is going to be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, we hope that Miles the Monster isn't that hungry tonight and he doesn't eat up too many of these trucks out here. Grid is up for the Skeeber Flobs Kettlecorn 100 here at Dover. Your pulse leader tonight, the 48 of Mitch Brown with a 22.048. Then you have the 44 of Michael Atkins Jr. to his outside in P2. Jonathan Holstein third, Devin Sarah fourth, and Scott Smith going to round out your top five. Sixth place goes to Sam Maxwell, Danny Rogers into double deuce. Back behind him in seventh, Jake Douglas in eighth, Ty Hester ninth, and Alex Geese going to round out your top 10. Tom Giannini in 11th, Pete Baskins in 12th, Tim Knott 13th, Jacob Greeter in 14th, Dominic Lee 15th, 16th is Alan Young, Zach Calloway 17th, 18th is Justin Vaughn. You have Jay Graves Jr. in 19th, and 20th is Michael Sunick. Robbie Baskins in 21st, Brian Crispin in 22nd, Andy Diablo 23rd, 24th is Brandon Boyd, Chris Titus in 25th, Edward Bray 26th, Steve Wuhala in 27th, points leader Jim Foose all the way back in 28th, Thomas Wagner in 29th, and rounding out your top 30 is Austin Fouch. Kevin Mingus 31st, 32nd is Brad Cross, and last truck on time in 33rd, the one of Jason Stewart, 91 and 5, headed to the back of the pack for, I would guess, pre-race penalty or something into the line for Zachary Bosnitz and Scott Holler.
I don't know what happened with the 5, but I know that the 91 has to go to the back because he did not pull in for the driver's race, or the driver's, not driver's race. Apologies, the driver's meeting before the race.
All right, pace car is going to parade them around. Here, we're going to get ready to bring you the green flag action. Now, there's a lot of new paint schemes, a lot of patriotic paint schemes out here tonight. 48 being a prime example, as well as the 20 right behind him to his outside. So if you don't see your favorite driver's paint scheme, that's because they got something new on the truck.
Yeah, everyone's trying to show a little bit of support here, and they've got some really good paint schemes. It'll give you an idea of how short this track is. You can see our leader is already coming around on this track. The people off of pit lane are just now leaving. A lot of these guys have to get caught up. Oh, the 25 almost hit the back of the 97. He was sideways. Chris Titus got to watch out.
All right, pace cars got him rolling through. Going to peel off of the racing surface in the middle of 3 and 4. Mitch Brown leading the field towards the green flag. It's about to drop here.
Yeah, they've already passed the restart box. They're waiting for the flag to come out. There it goes.
Green flag out for the Skeeber Flobs Kettlecorn 100 here at Dover, getting pretty dicey up front.
Yeah, already the 48 is clear. The 20 trying to get the same as him, but the 44, Michael Atkins Jr. up top, giving him a little bit of a run for his money right now. He's trying to hold that second position. It's just not going to work. That 20 down on the bottom looks like he's going to have the drive up off, but won't have the room to close the door quite yet.
I'll tell you one thing, that 49 Jake Douglas made a power move back here. He's fighting for with the 70 of Jonathan Holstein back here for fourth place, and he's going to clear him coming off of turn number 2.
And that leaves the top, it looks like top 6 single file. Well, I was going to say the first battle was back around 7th, but they've sorted that out, and it's going to move on to 8th right now, the 21 and 36 Ty Hester, as we see him side by side with another truck. That is a familiar spot for him.
Yeah, now the exit of turn 2 is going to be a tricky one for a lot of these drivers here tonight. That wall creeps up on you fast, as the 21 did get a little bit of damage off of scraping the wall there. Robbie Baskins, or Pete Baskins, excuse me, in that 3 car going to pass that 21, the 03 Jacob Greider, coming to get around that number 21. And looks like behind him, Alex Geese in the 77 has settled in behind Tom Giannini in the 33 Best Buy Toyota.
These guys are doing really well to keep it clean early on. Right now, we've got mostly single file throughout the field. I think besides 1 or 2 battles up top, we've been pretty clean throughout this race. Ooh, 30. Bradley Cross trying to go low. Wasn't working for him early. The 43 kind of blocked him a little bit, but Steve Bahala giving him some room down there on the bottom. This is for 30th position on the track.
Yeah, there's going to be racing all over the place. You see the 91. Zachary Bosnick's already up around about 7 spots into the 28th position right now on the track. Got a little bit of a battle in front of him. The 04, Thomas Wagner underneath the 25 of Chris Titus. Chris Titus in the wall, 66. 91's flipping. Caution is on the speedway.
25. That's a rough ride
Lord.
for him. Back on his wheels.
That was Elliott Sadler in Talladega back when he was driving the M&M's car.
Yeah, really. What a brutal wreck, thankfully. These drivers, looks like Chris is going to have to tow. The 91 bust his engine as well.
We do have a new leader out front. I don't know what happened there. I'm trying to see if there's any damage on that 48. But Devin Serra out front in his Speedco Chevrolet working lap 7. We probably will see all of these guys come down to pit road. Maybe
going back, the 20 was side by side with the 48. When that caution came out, 20 had the bumper, so 20 will get the position.
And Ty Hester looks like he wants to try to lead this lap. He's going to stay out in that Hitachi Toyota. Going to try to get him a couple of bonus points here.
Yeah, Ty Hester's not afraid to mix it up a little bit. We've seen that throughout this series, so I'm sure he'll make it a little exciting as we move on through this race. 7 laps on his tires.
Very stimulating.
There we go, everyone pulling into the pits now. It is a relatively short track, so once you get done with your pit stop, you're going to leave immediately, hopefully not getting lapped. And it looks like we had someone take 2 tires here. That's the 49.
And 49, 20, 48, 33, 44, race off pit road. And I believe you are right that 49, Jake Douglas, had a fast car, made his way all the way up into the 4th position before that caution. And he took 2 tires there to go ahead and get around some of the front runners. 13 of Ryan Chrisman stayed out as well with Ty Hester. We'll see if they come down to pit lane this time around.
Yeah, Edward Bray was involved in that incident as well, and I'm surprised he didn't spend more time on pit lane than I expected him to repair some of that front end damage, but he decided not to do that, which is understandable because, like I said, this racetrack is relatively short, so you don't have a lot of time to repair your truck as you might at a 1.5 mile track like we did at Charlotte. But everyone's getting stacked back up, and we do have our first DNF of the night, and it goes to Zachary Bosnick, and he was involved in that wreck because he had to start in the back, so 1 penalty came out to hurt him for the rest of the night, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Well, the good thing about him is he's got 2 wins on the season so far. Our only multiple winner here in the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. He's going to have a rough night in the points, but doesn't look like he'll fall no farther back than about 11th or 12th, depending on how everybody else fares tonight. But we are back side by side, getting ready to go back under green flag conditions here. Got Ty Hester out front to his outside, Brian Chrisman, Jake Douglas in the 49 on 2 tires on the inside of row number 2, and Devin Hester, or Devin Serra, excuse me. I was thinking about football. It's all good. 36 has command upfield, and there he goes, green flag back out into the air here at Dover.
Yeah, he timed that restart beautifully. He was in that restart box. They announced in the driver's meeting you are allowed to use that as you were in any other NASCAR race, and he did. He is clear. So is the 49. So is the 2013 on no tires. Drifting on back, already going to fall to the 5th position.
That 13 is just a he had a big old parachute hanging off the back of his Chevrolet, trying to maintain some position in that Navy Chevrolet, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to on those old tires. And that was only maybe 6.5 laps on those tires. Just shows how much this track eats them fresh Goodyear Wrangler rubbers up.
Moves on.
Top 4 broke away so far. Got a pretty big gap between the 48 and 33. Tom Giannini back here in 5th. Under fire from the 44, Michael Atkins Jr. trying to get back into the top 5. Looks like he's going to do it. Sam Maxwell following him right now. Oh, we do have a battle for the lead, though. Jake Douglas to 49 underneath Ty Hester. Working their way off of turn number 2. Side by side, drag racing off into 3.
Yeah, the 36 staying out on those old tires. It looks like he's not hurting them too much. I mean, he's able to hold off for a little bit, but the 49 does have 2 tires. It's 4 freshies. Ooh, right off the corner. 49 closes the door on the 36 of Ty Hester. Jake Douglas going to be your leader this time by.
If Devin Sarah has anything to say about it, 20 going to try to throw defender underneath the 36. Going to fall back into the line, though, kind of diamonding the corner a little bit. Is Sarah coming off of turn number 2. Not going to have a good run down the backstretch. And that second group of cars is catching now. The 44, Michael Atkins Jr. right behind that 48 has caught this front pack. Brought Tom Giannini and Sam Maxwell with him, as well as Danny Rogers in that 22. Ooh, 20 had to check up big time. 4 to 36. Gonna get Mitch Brown to his outside now. Not exactly where that 48 wants to be at, because he's going to be under fire from that 44 here coming off of turn number 4. Everybody is rolling pretty good now.
Here.
Back out front, Ty Hester, he's not giving up now. He's still underneath that right there under the 49's back bumper. But Giannini back here in 33, forced the outside. Danny Rogers going to take over that 7th position now. Still single file up front. We'll try to find you something side by side back here real quick. Looks like everybody's pretty much everybody's playing nice so far in the back. A couple of battles, but we have a freight train moving in the front of this field. At 49, Jake Douglas pretty close to catching up. We do have a blown engine on pit lane. That looks like the 5 of Scott Haller, one of the other guys who had penalties earlier in the night. Camping World Chevrolet looks like he is toast. Probably going to be done for the evening. Nothing's changed up in the top 5 yet. I'm trying to find you a pretty decent battle going on besides, you know, the Action Express that's happening out in front here. I mean, you have just about the whole top 10 nose to tail with minor gaps in between them. Oh, we got a battle for 4th now. 44 underneath the 48. Mitch Brown. Oh, battle for the lead, too. Ooh, they're just trying to get racy up here, folks. Ty Hester to the inside of the 49. Jake Douglas going to have the advantage and the momentum. Going to clear the 49 and shut the door into turn number 3. Hester, he might have used his tire up. Here comes the 20. Devin Sarah tried to peek to the inside, had to check up a little bit. Going to get a good run in the center of the corner. Oh, back up. Oh, 22 falling back. Danny Rogers got loose on the bottom. Got Tom Giannini behind him, had to slow up. Giannini got a little piece of the rear end of that car, but back up front. Ooh, 03, Jacob Ryder in the wall. Very slow, running through 1 and 2. Looks like we're going to keep under green, folks. Ty Hester, though, falling like a rock all the way back to 5th now. The 44 and the 48 have gotten underneath and by Ty Hester. And And, Sam Maxwell underneath Mitch Brown going to try and get himself into the top 5 for the first time all night. Started in 6th, was running in 6th for most of the time. Now he is into the top 5. Ty Hester fought back for 4th. Mitch Brown falling back after restarting in the 3rd position on that last restart. And we battle for the lead still.
Yeah, as they're battling for the lead, I want to get you caught up real quick on what happened there. The 58 spun by himself just at the same time the 04 spun by himself. So neither were involved with each other, just 2 separate wrecks. They were able to get it under control and are on pit lane.
Devin Sarah, that number 20 speed coach Chevrolet, he's got something for the 49. Reminder that 49 is only on 2 tires. My assumption would be he's on newer rights than lefts. But that 20, 49 is going to roll at the track just a little bit. The 20 is going to get a good run coming off. He's not going to be able to stick his nose in to the inside of that 49. But Devin Sarah definitely fighting hard for that lead.
That 13, who started on the outside of the 36, is now last in line in 30th. And it goes to show you what can happen here when you stay out on no tires. I
think 13 was kind of banking on a quick caution there. We're coming to the line, going to complete lap 29 out of the scheduled 100 here at the Dover International Speedway. Miles the Monster has claimed a couple victims, the 91, the 25, and the 5, as well as the 58 and the 04 right now. Caution is out. Seems like the 94 not involved.
06, the 06 of Brandon Boyd was involved in that. Look back, it just looks like the 06 just spun by himself, much like the other guys. So interesting.
He got a piece of the apron there, and just he tried to catch the truck, and it just made that Georgia boot Chevrolet just a little bit too tight.
Yeah, just didn't work for him there. But either way, I tell you what, it worked out for the 49 of Jake Douglas on those 2 tires. I think some people might be taking note of that.
Yeah, it seems like right now he has the truck to beat. We're 30% done with the race. It's easy because it's only 100 laps. I mean, you can do math. But Jake Douglas is going to lead. I know, going to lead the brigade down to pit lane.
I think it's
35 mile an hour pit road speed limit, which is just painstakingly slow for this track.
Yeah, it's been a little over 20 laps on that green flag run. Very long run for them. Very nicely done, but everyone's going to want to come in for some fresh tires. And, I mean, I'm looking down the field, and there is no one staying out. Which is, again, understandable. As we did not have anyone 1 lap down. And every single person that right now in the Lucky Dog position is on pit lane. So we'll have to see who actually gets it here. I think the 58 might have come off pit lane to receive the Lucky Dog. We'll get you caught up after that.
All right, down and away, 49, 20, 98, 44, 48, 36, 33, 22. Your race off of pit road. Good stop from the 49. The 20 just about came off pit road in first. He was at his door panel, but to no avail. Devin Sarah going to restart in the 2nd position, barring any speeding penalties from any of these guys. Sam Maxwell up into the 3rd position. Michael Atkins 4th, and Mitch Brown back up into 5th. Now, Ty Hester was definitely looking for that caution as well, as he stayed out on completely old tires.
It was very well done to hang on by the 36 Ty Hester. Unlike the 13, he was able to keep it up in the top 10. So very well done, and we'll see what he can do here on this restart with fresh tires. Seeing some familiar faces normally up front that haven't necessarily been there lately. 33 of Tom Giannini. He's been having some unfortunate issues this season, but doing well to keep it out front tonight. Same for the 22 of Danny Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers has won this year. He went back in Atlanta, second race of the season. A couple of guys that normally run up front kind of mired in the back. You got Alan Young at number 24, LA Simsport driver, the champion on the hood of that car. He's mired back here. Where did he go? I lost his name. In the 21st position. Championship leader Jim Foose in the 42, back in 26th. And Alex Geese normally runs kind of near the front in the 77. He's back in 28th right now.
Yeah, I normally would say, oh no, the 42 is in the back, but he is almost always in the back early on. Whether he gets a bad qualifying effort or just decides that it's not his time to go. And by the end of the race, he appears up front, but at the beginning, he's slowly working his way through the field.
Yeah, biggest move of the race so far, the 30 of Brad Cross. That maxed out motorsport ride. He started in 32nd, all the way up to 15th. So he's done gained double, or he's done gained half of his qualifying effort back.
What we like to see, people picking up positions here. We'll see how far they can go here under green flag conditions. I think we've gotten about 6 drivers. 6 drivers have fallen victim to Miles the Monster. We'll see what happens here.
6 drivers have fallen victim to him. We're going to have 66 laps to go when we hit the start-finish line. And the 49, which has no correlations to 6s, is going to be out front. Jake Douglas in the Mobile 1, number 49 Chevrolet Silverado has command of the field. Waiting for the restart box, and green flag back underway here in Dover.
Looks like the top 3, 4, 5, all single file, 22 on the outside of the 48. Mitch Brown trying to make his way back up to the front, doing well to get that done early here. Everyone up front pretty much clear. The first battle goes back to the 9th position.
Back here to 70, Jonathan Holstein on the outside of Dominic Lee. Lee is going to take over that position. 70 is going to have a full head of steam heading off into turn 1, though. Number 18's got the Air Force on board tonight. Start looking paint from him. A little bit of check up from the 33. 18 had to check up a little bit, but we have a battle for the lead. 20 underneath the 49, going to touch. In turn 4, 49 locks him up. Oh, he hits the 33. Jake
Caution
Douglas,
is not
big
out.
problems.
Oh, 03, 97,
Oh, the
he
03,
caught up
he
in the
spun.
back.
Oh, no, the 1 involved as well, Jason Stewart. Wow.
Yeah, it goes to show you our leaders. Oh, God, the 1 took such a big hit. I didn't think he got so much of the wall early on, but he did. It goes to show you our leaders having an incident goes all the way back through the field.
And that all started at 20. Got underneath of the 49, coming off of turn number 2, had a great run, tried to put it down into the turn, and 49, that's the feeling's kind of mutual on that one.
Yeah, they I'd call it a racing incident. At first sight, you think the 20 might have just come up and hit him, but really the 49 kind of moved on down into the corner. The 20 moved up a little bit, and that's just what happens when 2 cars are trying to occupy the same space.
And it was a pretty good heads up move from Douglas to try and back it down and try to keep out of that wall, but ended up being a little bit more of a problem than what he was trying to be there, with all that the whole field getting around him.
Yeah. Well, the incident happening so quickly after a restart, people are still double filed throughout the entire field out back, and because of that, people just couldn't move around him. It was really tough. He was stuck on the wall, people too wide, trying to keep position, but also trying to avoid him and not really knowing which way to go. It's unfortunate for those at the back. It looked like the 97 of Andy Diablo really got some of the worst of that. The 1 was involved as well. We did see that. We have a couple of drivers here pitting that weren't necessarily involved, but deciding to pit at the end here. the 33 of Tom Giannini. We mentioned he was up front. He decided to pit.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, everything happened so fast here. It's as soon as he got on the brakes there, I mean, he already had 6, 7 trucks by him already, and just everybody else was piling in, and no caution coming out. Nobody, had a chance to check up, and that's Dover.
Yeah, pretty much. And it looks like the top 20 stayed out. Jim Foose, the first driver to come in, the first one off. In the 42 truck there, moving up to the 21st position, and we do have a lot of drivers that are going to go on pit road here, trying to repair their cars. Looks like the 97 and the 1 going to make it off, so their damage probably not as bad as they hope. But either way, they just can't afford to sit on pit lane for long. That pace car will get there quicker than you think.
Yes, it sure will. We do have Edward Bray has decided to hang up his helmet for the night. The number 66 LA Simsport ride is going to go behind the wall.
Yeah, right now we have four drivers that are receiving DNFs, but we do have a couple that are still technically in the race on pit lane, but just don't have any power going. That's the 25 of Chris Titus, caught up early. Same goes for the 5, Scott Haller. He's just now back on the racetrack. Good to see him make up some time here, as he was made to start in the back, and that hurt him just as bad as it hurt the 91 of Zachary Bosnich, who is one of our drivers. In fact, the first driver out of this race. So it's really really hate to see that for someone so high in points, but like you said, Zachary does have those wins to lean on, and that's really going to come in handy when they get to the chase.
At 49 and the 03 are also going to retire here. And tough break for Jake Douglas. He had probably the fastest truck out here, I would say. But the lights are off the pace car, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Have 60 laps to go, 59 when we hit the stripe. And we're starting to get through a little bit of the attrition part of Dover.
Yeah, it's basically Martinsville size wrecking with a little bit wider track. That's basically all Dover is. You'll still get a lot of the same type of wrecks here. The wreck will start in turn 1 and it'll finish midway down the backstretch sometimes. So it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, Martinsville's fat cousin.
That's one way to put it.
Martinsville with steroids. All right, I'm good. Pace car has got him rolling through turn number 3. Devin Serra going to be the control car. Sam Maxwell to his outside. Michael Atkins Jr. in that 44 Sim Racing App Chevrolet behind him. And the 36 Ty Hester outside of row number 2. Devin Serra's down and away, and we are back under the green flag for these Skeever Flops. Got a corner at 100.
A good restart for the 20 there. 44 clear as well. Ty Hester, though, not having the best restart here. He's moving on back through the field. The 22 trying to follow the 48 through.
Danny Rogers backed out a little bit there. And that Pilot Flying J Chevrolet. Ty Hester in that Toyota to his outside. Danny Rogers trying to make an appearance back into the top 5. Started in 7th. Good effort from him after having a couple of tough weeks here recently. Back behind him, though, to 3 underneath the 18. Pete Baskins in an Under Armour Patriotic scheme. Going to bring his number 3 back into the 8th position. Jonathan Holstein in that 70 LA Simsport Staples CAD-Tech riding along in 7th.
For the most part, people try to get their 1 or 2 passes done right at the beginning, and then they start to settle in into single file. And then once people get settled in, they'll ride around, and then they'll notice someone make a mistake, and then everybody will pounce. It's pretty much been the pattern of the race so far. Ooh, there's the mistake. 22 into the wall there. Scraping at 36, going to get by. The 70 not quite able to get there just yet. Thought that 70 was going to wash up, but he did not. Thankful I'm sure that 22 is. Danny Rogers trying to hold it on the outside. He does have right side damage.
Yeah, turn 2 is one of the hardest parts here at Dover, as well as turn 4. I mean, I pretty much say that for every racetrack, but
Yeah, pretty much.
Turn 2 it just gets so tight if you don't hit the right line, and turn 4 is even worse. 22, unfortunately, victim to Miles the Monster for just a couple of spots. 70 has gotten around him right now, fighting, trying to stay in front of Pete Baskins in at 3, with 18 of Dominic Lee right behind him. Brad Cross into the top 10 for the first time tonight. He is on fire right now. Brought the 3's teammate into 46 of Robbie Baskins. First time we've seen him tonight up into the 11th position. A little bit of blinking from him, but he seems to be all squared away now.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to that 18 of Dominic Lee. You'll notice if you watch this series every Tuesday that we broadcast it, the 18 is new to this series. Dominic Lee making his first start in the ASRS series. Qualified 15th, is now up to 9th, so good showing for him.
For the forward light team, as in front of him, the 22 is getting passed by the 3. I think the 22 just bounced off the wall again. If he didn't, he was very, very, very close.
Yeah, I think the 22 is just trying to get settled in. He's trying to recover from that wall hit and just trying to get in where he fits in right now. Ooh, really quick braking on that corner. The 18 flew past him there. This is where Danny Rogers hopes he can settle in, as the 18 is going to move all the way up to 8th. So a nice, very nice showing for him early on. He's going to have to set his sights on the 3 of Pete Baskins.
Leaders coming to the stripe right now, halfway. This time by Devin Sarah out front. You have Michael Atkins Jr. in second, Sam Maxwell third, Mitch Brown in the 48 in fourth, and Ty Hester rounding out your top 5. A little bit of a battle for the lead. 20 a little high on the racetrack. Michael Atkins Jr. trying to make that inside work as they're coming up on lap traffic.
Yeah, they're catching the 58 of newcomer Austin Fouch, who is going to block the lane no matter where he goes.
Oh, buddy.
Good recovery there. Austin trying to get out of the way. You saw he almost thought about going to the apron, but that would have been a disaster if he would have tried that at his speed right there. But very well done by the 44 and 98 to catch their trucks. Lost a little time on the 20, but either way, they are safe for the time being.
Yeah, the best thing that 58 can do is be predictable. Run that bottom line as he's been doing and just let everybody by. Austin Fouch, unfortunately, victim of earlier incidents.
Yeah, that might be most important at a track like this.
On like a lead balloon back there. But Devin Sarah going to stretch out a pretty commanding lead after that little exchange and butt puckering and all sorts of different stuff. Michael Atkins Jr. has his brown fire suit on. That is for true. Sam Maxwell is well back in third still. No changes in the top 5, but Jonathan Holstein, he wants to take that 5th position away from Ty Hester. He's closing in pretty good. Little battle behind him.
22 and 18. Danny Rogers down there on the bottom trying to make that pass, gain as many positions back as he can after hitting the wall there. The 30 of Brad Cross had to back out a little bit. The 18 was slow coming out of the corner. 30 though caught his truck, and he is moving up through the field rather quickly here, doing a great job. He has half the race to go. We'll see if he can move all the way up. He is challenging the 18 for now. This is the 9th position on the track here. Is the 46 of Robbie Baskins. Again, it's so close for these drivers. Looks like he wanted to follow through the 30, just wasn't able to do it.
And Brad Cross still working that inside of the 18. He's going to clear the 18 there, take over that 9th position from Dominic Lee. Robbie Baskins still tucked back there in 11th. Right behind him, Zach Calloway, a driver we really haven't mentioned all that much all year. And that 45 for J Foose Motorsports, sitting back here pretty in the 12th position. Has got the GM military discount colors on that Chevrolet here tonight. Behind him, the 41 Tim Knott for TNT Racing. Another driver we really don't get to say much about has the Wounded Warrior Project on board tonight. Just got passed by the 24 of Alan Young for that 13th position.
Yeah, talking about Zach Calloway, I was looking at his stats for a bit, and it seemed like he's a top 10 racer. Really likes to hang in there. He starts towards the back almost every single race and is able to make his way up through the field for the majority of the race here. So he's doing very well. And he's about a mid-pack driver.
And another face that we normally see up front, I believe he was a winner already this season. Looking for his name up here. Justin Vaughn at number 7, Great Clips Chevrolet. He's all the way back in 16th right now, under fire from the 77 of Alex Geese, who is bringing that Trek 77 to the rear bumper.
Yeah, Justin Vaughn getting that win at Kansas 2 weeks ago. A very good race for him. Unfortunately, the Charlotte race after that was not of his liking. So hopefully he's looking for a recovery here, and he was having a good run. I did notice the 34 of Michael Sunick actually held him up a little bit. So unfortunately for the 7, he's able to get back up to speed for now, but he did lose some positions there as he goes sideways out of the corner.
Oh yeah, he got a lot of the wall there. 77 is going to go underneath and try to get that spot. 7 is going to have the advantage of the outside momentum. Looking back here, Tom Giannini. Oh, how he has fallen to best by 33.
Oh, sorry, 3. Pete Baskins hits the wall. A lot of drivers going by him now. He's already lost about 5 positions. He will still lose some more as he goes down in front of the 24 and cuts them off. And that 3, he likes to do that. When he starts losing positions, he will completely block someone to try and hold that. And he has now slowed the 24 up enough to where he kind of cut everyone else off. But the 3 will move into the 13th position after hitting the wall.
Yeah, the 5, Scott Holler, as soon as you said 3 in the wall, his motor expired. He's trying to travel back to pit road. He is on the backstretch. I don't think he's going to make it back. As long as he can stay on the apron, he will not cause a caution.
Yeah, he's cruising at a clean 33 miles an hour.
Yeah, he ain't going to make it.
Ooh, the 1 and 7, 77, 21, 41, 3 wide for a moment. Out back there. Oh, the 41 washes up, catches the 21, but the 21 makes a great save. 21 of Scott Smith, mentioned him early on, had a big jump between practice and qualifying. Speed is settling into the 15th position right now.
Yeah, I could say that was one of those moments that you do not want to have here at the Dover International Speedway. He lost a couple of spots there, but to no avail. The 7, Justin Vaughn, picked his way back up to 14th in that exchange, right behind his, I believe this is, let me do this real quick. That is his teammate in Pete Baskins in front of him.
I think the 30 of Bradley Cross might have hit the wall there a little. He did. The 30 scraped the wall a little bit into something you don't see very often, into turn 3. And the 18 was able to get by him there. The 18 of Dominic Lee, again, newcomer to the series, having a decent run here today, as the 45 of Zach Calloway in the top 10 right now, trying to move up through the field with the 24 of Alan Young behind him.
Oh, don't look too soon. We're about to have a battle for the lead. Michael Atkins Jr. has made up about 3/10 over the last 2 laps. That 44 is getting to where it's on rails right now. The 20 might have burned up his tire. We have 32 laps to go, 31 when we hit the line. Pretty sure these guys can make it all the way. Not sure if fuel strategy is going to come into play here, but they should be close, if not
Looks like the
for tire.
33's pitting, 42's pitting, 3 is pitting. So we've got a bunch of drivers pitting here.
I thought we were getting ready to start seeing those stops. We've seen, I guarantee you 10 laps ago, the top 12 was within 3 seconds of the 20. Now, they're the top 4 are the only ones within 3 seconds, and they're all right there running side by side.
Yes, and I'm listening to the radio, sorry, and they do have to pit. Everyone has to pit. They could not make it to the end here. Crossing 30 laps to go, so we'll get a lot of drivers in a pit lane here soon. We'll see if anything happens. I imagine a couple of the drivers might want to stay out and see if they can catch a caution.
I would imagine so as well, especially with these guys here on the fresh tires. Going to feel like Superman for a couple of laps trying to get around some of the slower lapped cars. But these guys staying out on these old tires, if this continues to go green, they're going to be the ones mired in the back of traffic.
Sorry, the 36 of Ty Hester, man, he got down and absolutely slammed on his tires. So much smoke there at the pit entrance, but he was able to get down, I believe. Will not receive a black flag for speeding. We'll have to see what happens when he comes out of the pits, but for now, looks like our leader is going to continue on. Oh, and as I say that, the 20 decides he is going to pit, I believe.
So he's around a lot of lower trucks right now. Michael Sunick in the 34. He's going to try to get underneath of him. Right at the speed code number 20 Chevrolet down. Not going to do it this time around. But the 44, Michael Atkins Jr. in the pit from the second position.
Yeah, I think the 20 probably reevaluated his position with all those lap cars around him. It was a good decision. Like the 41 is into pits as well. 94 is going to come in next time. A lot of people talking over the radio right now, letting us know when they're going to come in.
Oh, he's locking them up. I believe he got it. 35 mile an hour on the pit lane. After you're running around the track going about 140, you're pretty much standing still now. Mitch Brown going to inherit the lead right away as the 20 is coming down to take his final pit, what could be his final pit stop of the night.
Yeah, it looks like
45.
A lot of drivers trying to navigate people with fresh tires and people on old tires. It's getting a little tough for each other. But for now, they're going to try and do it, try and keep into this. But they absolutely should be able to make it. You are correct.
These guys that pitted a couple of laps ago are going to have a little bit of an advantage on time as Mitch Brown coming into pits from the lead, going to surrender the lead over to the 98 Sam Maxwell.
Oh, 70. Oh, not what he wanted. He locked it up and scraped the barrels at the beginning of pit lane. He's got some sick damage on the right front of that truck.
You'll be seeing this 98 coming in sometime here soon. I believe that's only going to leave the 24 and the 45, as well as Danny Rogers in at 22. The last four trucks not to pit. 45 is on pit lane. Alan Young on pit lane. So 22 and the 98, the last two to complete the cycle of pit stops. And just looking at the 22 and watching this 30 getting ready to come by him on the outside, no less. At 30, Brad Cross back at 12th. 2 laps down right now.
Yeah, now if a caution were to come out, you talk about mayhem. Oh, man, this would cause quite a bit of confusion here. But I think the 98 and the 22, they're going to have to come in soon. They won't be able to stay out for too long. They're definitely not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, former leader Mitch Brown just in front of our current leader right now. Devin Sarah already back up into 4th. So they're pretty much coming off as they went on here. 98, 22, he's still yet to pit.
Yeah, the 34 is not pitted either. So even though he is 3rd, he's just not pitted yet. He was a lap down car before. And here he comes, 34, Michael Sunick coming in. Oh, missed pit lane. Was way too fast on entrance and decided he couldn't get it down. He's going back up his feet, but he's going to be slow on the bottom of the track.
Getting reports that the 20 had a pretty slow, quick stop. May have been just a fuel only for that number 20. Michael Atkins has already gotten around Devin Sarah. That's your potential battle for the lead. Right behind him, right behind the 20 is Jim Foose in that 42. Foose is mired 2 laps down right now. And here comes the 98 Sam Maxwell to pit road. Danny Rogers is going to continue to go on. We're closing in on 15 laps to go. Danny Rogers wants to lead himself a lap. Going to do so. A little bit of a pit road calamity as well behind. I believe that was the 97. Throwing a lot of smoke up.
Everyone's trying to go around waiting for these leaders to pit to see where they stand, because right now a couple of lap down drivers mixed in because they've pit a little while after the last last leaders have. Sorry, the 20 was almost sideways off of turn 4, scraped the wall just a little bit as the 94 is moving right on by him with fresher tires.
Here comes the Flying J Ride. Danny Rogers coming down the pit lane. I believe that's going to surrender the lead over to Michael Atkins Jr. He's just passed him, getting his lap back. Going to see if he can get back around him before the 22 can get off of pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, it's a quick stop on pit lane, but these drivers are just so quick on this racetrack compared to that 35 miles an hour. It appears like you're going so slow. 22 shoots past his box. Will have to reverse it to get his stop complete.
And
oh, that's going to lose a lot of time.
And that's going to surrender the lead over to the 44. But you have to throw a tip of the cap out to the 98 of Sam Maxwell. Perfect pit stop. He's only 2 seconds behind third place in Devin Sarah. And they're on about, well, Devin didn't take any tires. So he's on very, very old tires. But that 44, Michael Atkins Jr., definitely took some freshies to pull away. Over a 5.5 second advantage over Devin Sarah.
Yeah, you have a combination of leaders out front, either 2 tires or no tires. So not a lot of 4-tire stops here, because I think they realize it's so late in the race that to get the time on those tires, it's just going to take way too long.
Now, if caution comes out, does everybody else come back in? Because right now we only have 14 trucks on the lead lap. The first truck a lap down is Zach Calloway in that 45.
I'm trying to look back through some pit stops here, and I'm not quite sure. The 48, yes, the 48 was the first driver to take 4 tires. So if 48, if the caution comes out, he should absolutely not come in. So he is sitting pretty right now, but he's 8 seconds behind our leader of the 44, Michael Atkins Jr., and catching that 20. You can see him out of turn 4. You can see how much quicker that 48 is compared to the 20 of Devin Sarah.
And your leader's going to...
Like he's standing still.
Your leader, Michael Atkins Jr., working his way out of turn number 4. 10 laps to go for Atkins to notch his first win on the season.
We're going to see how they split in times. It looks like the 48 was a 10th, almost a 10th faster than... oh, no, I'm sorry. The 48 was actually a 10th slower than Michael Atkins Jr., but I think that was because the 48 was trying to pass the 20 at the time. So we'll see what kind of laps they can put down this time.
Caution's out.
Caution's out.
This changes everything.
It really does.
I needed to be generic. Oh, to 77. Alex Geese, I believe, is our culprit there.
Yes, he is. He caught the apron, spun on the front stretch.
Ooh.
Did a nice little turnaround, though.
Oh, yes. Minus the wall, it was Jimmy Johnson-esque from the other year.
It was a pretty little turn, but unfortunately the caution did come out. Or I guess fortunately, especially for the 48 of Mitch Brown. He does have the tires over the 44. Will he pit? I don't see it happening because they're going to go with only about 2 to 3 laps on this restart.
Yeah, we should be able to get a good restart here. It's going to be good.
Yeah, right now, guys, to get you caught up, everyone's trying to catch the pace car as they are going into turn 3. To get you a better picture right now, the 13 drivers on the lead lap, ending with the 21 of Scott Smith right now in 13th. The first car 1 lap down will be the 3 of Pete Baskins. He will receive the lucky dog. He is 1 car behind our leader, so that'll be super convenient for him. That will be 14 drivers on the lead lap here, as none of the drivers up front came out. Oh my God, 36 does that every time. And he gave it a little fake.
98 Sam Maxwell, your first truck in. That's going to send him back to at least the 8th position, as 70 and pretty much everybody behind him came in as well. The last 4 trucks on the lead lap.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be in ninth if he comes off pit lane first. Ooh, that's way too, I think that's way too many positions to pick up. I don't know about US.
As short as this run is going to be, I agree with you. And I don't believe that we're going to be able to finish this one with the checkered flag and the green flag simultaneously out.
Yeah, it's going to be a little interesting here.
Yeah. Now, these lap down drivers, I don't think they're going to be, too much into it. But these guys up front, especially the 44, 48, the 20 into 30, and the 36 for that matter, they're all known to be aggressive when they need to be.
What? No.
No, not
Really?
at all.
Not these guys.
Yeah. Robbie Baskins, probably the coolest head out of the bunch in the top 6. Well, him and his teammate behind him, and Justin Vaughn, probably a couple of the cooler heads towards the front of the pack. The 20 is hungry. He's got wrecked on the pace lap, starting on the pole a couple of weeks ago. Mitch Brown, fresh off of a win, he wants to get a 2-piece out of this one. Brad Cross, he's got to be hungry as well. He won earlier this year at Martinsville. He's looking for his second win on the season. And then you have Ty Hester in the 36.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm correct, I don't think anyone has run better and finished worse than the 20 of Devin Serra. He has been in contention for a win so many times and yet has not finished the race. Whether it's his fault or he's been caught up in someone else's wreck or lost it with fuel mile, it doesn't matter. Either way, he has been so close to a victory. I think this might get a little more interesting from his point of view.
All right, now I want to be that 44. As soon as you see that restart box, my right foot is going down to the floor through the firewall as far as I can get it. And I'm not looking back.
Yeah, I really think that 48 is in a great position right now. He does have fresher tires, and he's able to catch he was really able to catch a 20. We saw him as if the 20 was standing still, but 48 on 4, 44 on 2. We'll see what's going to happen here.
Old Wrecking Ball's got his helmet on. Word out of the 36 camp, there isn't enough beat-up cars up here.
Let's just hope he isn't one of them, because this could go south really quickly. And as you know, the next flag will end it.
Yes, we're going to come to the green flag with 4 laps to go. Pace car's got them halfway down the backstretch. Who you got, Katie?
48. I'm calling it 48. If it's not the 48, it's got to be the 20. But I think it's the 48. He has fresher tires. He's up front. He'll start on the first row. We'll see. It determines on pit stop. Who you got? Not pit stop. I'm sorry. Restart.
I'm going to pick the leader at 44. The pace car is off. Michael Atkins Jr. has command of the field. He has to get a good restart, a good jump on the field. And there he goes down and away. Green flag back out onto the racing surface to close out the Skeeter Fly Kettlecorn 100.
Ooh, that 36 getting a good run through the corner. Top 4 clear. Oh, top 3 clear. Sorry, the 4th position being battled between the 30 and the 36. The 20 of Devin Serra. I'm not sure what's going on.
Old tires getting shuffled out right now. But Mitch Brown on the hunt, trying to get to the back bumper of that 44 before any of these other flags come out. 3 to go, 2.5 really. Ty Hester leading the charge. 21's around, caution's out. That's going to get the win to the 44 of Michael Atkins Jr. J. Foos Motorsports driver.
Oh, it was 3 wide. It went back because the 20 of Devin Serra, we just mentioned his troubles. It caused it to go 3 wide. The 21 went onto the apron. He spun around, and that was all she wrote. I'm telling you, man, that 48 had it. I'm telling you that 48 had it. if it would have gone green, but either way, it did not. And that will hand the 44 of Michael Atkins Jr., another driver who's had really good runs, but not always been up front at the finish. So very well done by the 44.
Yeah, definitely. Mitch Brown, I believe, was the first truck on 4 fresh tires off the green flag pit stops, which was great to see here at Dover. I don't think I've ever seen a green flag pit stop at Dover in any series that I've ran.
Yeah, very impressive by this series. But this series always tends to give us good races, with at least one long green flag run. Now, obviously, Martinsville is an exception for every league, but these guys doing a very great job at Dover, and it was extremely exciting, especially towards the end there. Sam Maxwell was also moving up through the field. Devin Sarah kind of hurt a lot of guys towards the back of the top 10, but that's just the way it is. As a couple of drivers here, especially new to the series, the 18 going to have a good finish, his first start and first top 10.
Definitely good for him. Brad Cross, though, making up 28 positions on track to finish
impressive.
in 4th in that 30 Toyota. That is more than impressive. That's just an outstanding run.
Yeah, he's your highest finisher from the points. 3rd in points, Jason Stewart, unfortunately, not having the day he wanted, and neither is Zachary Bosnich, but his day was done from the start, unfortunately, with the penalty to go to the back being wiped out in a wreck. He was out, I think, with like 7 laps into the race, so unfortunate for him. But either way, these guys doing a great job. And then Jim Foose being steady, wasn't able to get on the lead lap though.
Yep, checkered flag for Michael Atkins Jr. under caution. His first win on the season. Congratulations goes out to him and his J. Foose Motorsports number 44 team.
It seems chatter. Yeah, it seems a condition for winning is that you get deported from the series because you win too much. Michael Atkins Sr. just getting a little picked on by our series owner.
There he goes.
Ooh, 22.
Whoa.
Some drivers trying to just finish the race.
Yeah, all of these guys are teammates up here. Whether they're on J. Foose Racing or JF2, all the teammates are out here celebrating with our race winner, Michael Atkins Jr. 2nd place, Mitch Brown in that 48.
Yeah, Mitch Brown back-to-back podium. How about that?
Yeah. Should have your results keyed up here in just a minute. We'll give you the full unofficial rundown. All right. Again, congratulations goes out to the 44, Michael Atkins Jr. on the win tonight. Mitch Brown coming home in 2nd. Ty Hester, strong finish in the 3rd position. Brad Cross going to come home in 4th. And Robbie Baskin's going to round out your top 5. Danny Rogers in 6th. Justin Vaughn, 7th. Sam Maxwell, 8th. Jonathan Holstein brings it home in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 for his first start, Dominic Lee. Devin Sarah in 11th, Pete Baskins 12th, Tom Giannini 13th, Scott Smith 14th, and Zach Calloway going to round out the drivers on the lead lap. 1 lap down in 16th was Jake Graves Jr., Kevin Mingus in 17th, Jim Foose points leader in 18th, 19th was Alex Geese, Steve Buhala in 20th, 21st went to Michael Sunick, Brian Chrisman in 22nd. Jason Stewart 23rd, 24th was Tim Knott, 25th Alan Young, Andy Diablo in 26th, Austin Faust 27th, Scott Holler 28th, Jake Douglas in 29th, and 30th was Edward Bray. Jacob Grider in 31st, 32nd was Brandon Boyd, Thomas Wagner 33rd, 34th Chris Titus, and last but not least Zachary Bosnich in 35th position.
Yeah, and we're going to move right on to our interviews here. We do have our 3rd place finisher with us. It is Ty Hester in the 36 truck. Ty, you got us?
Sure do.
Fantastic. Walk us through this race because it seemed like you were having a little bit of fun out there. You qualified ninth, ended up finishing in third. How do you think your race went?
Race went pretty good. I'm normally pretty pretty quick at Dover, but being that it's a concrete track, I normally fall off really quick, with about 8 to go in the fuel run, but we ran good. It held through long enough to where I could stay up front, and overall the race went pretty good. I could stay up with the guys up front. It was pretty clean and tight racing.
So, what was your strategy there on the green flag stop? How many tires did you take, and did you think you had enough there at the end to get to the 44 to 48?
Well, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get everybody else to pit when I wanted them to pit. That's normally how, it's kind of like, what's that saying about, monkey see, monkey do.
Oh yes.
So I tried to get everybody, to pit right there, and I freaking I missed pit entrance. I was like 30 mph too fast, so I stayed on the track and went around. But overall, yeah, I tried to get everybody to pit with me, to try to force that hand because I knew I was inside the fuel window in case if we went all the way, I had fuel and everybody would most be on the same tires. So yeah, but it didn't work out too bad. And like I said, ended up third. Wasn't too bad.
Definitely a good showing for you and your Alpha Tango Racing machine there. Any shout outs that you want to give before we let you go?
Not sure if you guys saw the Facebook, but for on mine, but my grandfather passed away this past week, so we're thinking about him.
Definitely, man. Sorry to hear about your loss. And good to see you out here putting out a good finish for him here tonight.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too, bud. And next week we are going to move on to Rockingham, so that'll be interesting to see Ty over there if he could make it. And again, we give his best to his family on their loss. But Ty doing a great job in honor of him, so very well done by Ty, and we wish him all the best. And we're going to move right on to the 48 of Mitch Brown. Hey, Mitch, you got us?
Yes.
Man, we're getting used to interviewing you. You finished first last week, and you came back for a second here. What's going on? What's going on in that truck? You've obviously got that thing tuned up.
We put a little golden horseshoe right under the right rear of the truck, just for some good luck, and it's paying off so far. 2 weeks in a row, you got first and second.
Yeah, clearly.
You got the truck tuned up, but not your microphone.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, it's all good. You had some special colors out there tonight. The POWMIA 48 finishing in second. Again, I asked Ty, what were you looking for the race to stay green there at the end, or did you want that caution to try and get yourself a shot at the win?
There was a part of me that wanted the race to stay on the green, and the other part of me that wanted the race to that caution so I can get a chance at Michael. But I'll take second. I came so close from my prediction last week. I said I was gonna try to go for back-to-back. Came just one position short, but we'll take that.
I'll be honest, man. I had you picked. I knew you had fresher tires than him, and I had you on that restart, but that caution came out and caught you just a little short.
Yeah, just not enough time to get back up to Michael's bumper. But congratulations to him on the win.
All right. Well, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Gotta thank you guys, as always, for putting on the broadcast each and every week. Gotta thank Michael on his win. Gotta thank everybody back at the JF2 shop putting up these good trucks. And that's about it.
All right.
Well, we appreciate it, Mitch, and we will see you over at Rockingham next week.
Maybe, just maybe next week we'll get that win.
Just maybe.
I'm thinking third. I'm thinking he's going for the full sweep.
Could do that, but maybe a win sounds just a little bit sweeter.
All right, bud. Well, we'll catch you there next week. Have a good night.
You too.
And we're going to move right on up to our winner of this race in the 44, Michael Atkins Jr. You got us.
Gotcha.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to give you the mic for just a little bit because it seems like you're just pumped up for this win right here at Dover. Walk us through that race. You qualified up on the front row and finished at the front row, just switching positions with the 48 of Mitch Brown. And I have to ask, coming towards the end there, what was going through your mind?
Well, Mitch told me on the TeamSpeak channel, he said, well, I took 4 on the last pit stop. I was like, I gotta get a good restart, try to hold him off. And I was banking on a caution at the end, right there at the end. And luck, I guess you could say luck fell my way on that last restart there. Able to get out to a good lead, and he had me off the corner with carrying the speed with the extra 2 fresh tires. So.
All right, man. Well, it looks like you pretty much had it there. You were doing great. It seemed, I think Mitch was about 7 seconds or so behind you during those green flag pit stops towards the end there, right before that caution came out to let everyone catch back up to you. And the first one behind you with 4 tires was all the way back in 8th. So I think for the most part, you were looking pretty good. Did you have any thoughts to block there towards the end if Mitch was going to try to get to the inside?
Well, I more or less I would try to hold him off, but if he got to the inside, I wasn't going to jeopardize a good finish and good point stay, which we talked about over TeamSpeak room there. But all in all, it was a good run. I was sitting there saying after the green flag pit stop started going around that, I was like, as long as I don't see white on the relative, I'm doing good. And then yellow flag come out. I'm like, no, really?
Yeah, that dreaded yellow handkerchief always seems to spoil a bunch of plans. But
yeah, it was a good run all in all. Nice to get back to the checker flag in the series.
Yeah, your second win on the series, first win of the season though. Do you have anybody you want to give a shout out before we let you go and pop a couple bottles of bubbly?
Yeah, I like to thank the guy that made this USA paint scheme that I was running from, Memorial Day weekend. I'll be running it more likely through the rest of through the July 4th holiday and possibly throughout the season all the way to the end. But I'd like to thank Jim Foos for having me on the team on J Foos Motorsports and for doing the league, and thank y'all for everything y'all do on the broadcast. Y'all do a good job.
All right, well, it's much appreciated, and we wish you the best of luck next week at Rockingham.
Thank you.
All right, and again, that was our winner here at Dover, the 44 of Michael Adkins Jr.
Definitely good to see him come away with the win. He's, like we said, he's had an up and down season so far. That's only his second top 5 of the season. He came home in 4th back at Atlanta earlier in the year. But that's definitely going to help him in the point standings. McKady, any final thoughts you got?
Not a lot. I think this race spoke for itself. It was a very well-run race here tonight, and with a couple of exceptions out back there with some really bad wrecks on the backstretch. I mean, it was relatively clean. These guys, we had a few single car spins, which you don't always see, but they were able to keep off the track and let these guys run a good, solid race here. And other than our top 3, who obviously deserve shout outs, and Ty Hester, Mitch Brown, and Michael Atkins Jr., I do want to give the 4th place finisher a quick shout out, and that's the 30 of Bradley Cross, moving up from the 32nd position in qualifying to 4th. It was very impressive, and we'll see what these guys have at Rockingham.
Yeah, next Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, we are here for the Clint Auto Parts 100 at Rockingham. 100 laps on tap. Our next broadcast, though, is Thursday night at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific, as we are at Auto Club with the Northwest Truck Series for the Sargent's Place. Don't know, because I don't know what kind of stuff they're running there. for 75 laps. Closing out the first round of the chase there on Thursday night. Exciting times. Looking forward to that one, but definitely looking forward to next Tuesday at Rockingham. That's going to be a fun race to watch. But for Katie Reed, Tony Knuckles on the ones and twos tonight, and myself, Wes the Mess, we are OCTV, and we would like to thank y'all for watching. Have a good night.